Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Queensland ATL show, a special edition of the show. We're going to preview the ATL final taking place at the Australian Open this coming Monday, the 20th of January and the 21st of January. I'm here with Travis Dragojlo, and Trav, we're very excited to cheer on the two Queensland teams. So representing the Queensland Women's Conference, the Shore Park Sharks, and the Queensland Men's Conference, we have the Tennis Brisbane Chargers.
Yeah, it should be a great 2 days down at Melbourne, and as you said, back by popular demand, had hundreds of fan mail coming in wanting to get us back on. So here we are to preview the finals.
Now there was one edition without me on the show, which got the highest ratings, but somehow I've got back, and we're going to take everyone through all the teams that are competing in the finals this week. Starting off with the women's competition, we will start with our Queensland team, the Shore Park Sharks, making their second appearance at the national final, and the stronger team this year, Trav, because they will be better for last year's experience where they finished 7th overall.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously they've added Nate Baines, and I believe Priscilla Hon didn't actually play for their team last year, so to have both those girls in their lineup, obviously depending on their results in the AO Juniors, but I think they're a dark horse, especially with, as I said, Nate, Priscilla, Lizette, Rachel, Chelsea playing doubles, Ashling as well, who's been in some good form. So I think they're really a side to watch.
Yeah, best of luck to the Sharks. We can't wait to see your results in Melbourne. In terms of the competition, the Sharks will take on 7 other teams from the winners of the conferences around Australia and then also from around Asia Pacific. So all teams starting the quarterfinals, and we start off by previewing the South Australian winners this year and the defending champions from the national final last year, the Flagstaff Raiders.
Now they've Flagstaff again, they've assembled a pretty similar team with Victoria Richards, Carolina Wadarczak and Olivia Lukasiewicz, all great players.
Jessica Moore as well.
Added Jessica Moore, obviously Bianca Busic not in the team this year, but the addition of Jessica Moore makes that team again, very solid all round. So definitely another team to watch down there.
The winners in Sydney this year were the Canberra Velocity. They won both the men's and women's competition. Really solid team, the Velocity.
Yeah, like as I said, again, there's no, I guess, standout from the 4 girls, but I definitely think a very solid team with Alison Bide, Ashley Kidd, Nicole Hanaski and Tara Caldwell, all great Pro Tour level players. So again, they'll be definitely a solid team.
Now the runners-up in the New South Wales Conference, the Stanmore Wyverns, they were actually granted a wild card into the finals and a really strong lineup on paper, led by the informed Casey Blackwell, who's started off her year very well in Brisbane, Hobart, and then winning at the Australian Open in the first round as well.
Yeah, definitely. With the addition of Casey into that team, they're going to be, on paper for me, the team to beat. Monique Adams, Julie Moriarty, Angelique Spinos, Pamela Boyne. Actually, their team manager, Nicole Criz, actually, as well, was in that team. And Nicole, I'm not sure if any of our viewers know, but used to be a very, very solid player back in the day, so still hits some mean ball now.
So yeah, the Wyverns, they will be tricky, and hopefully the Sharks can dodge them when the draw is released on Saturday. The winners from WA, and obviously the WA teams did struggle a little bit at the finals last year, but a good team, a young side, the Midland Mad Dogs.
Yeah, Midland spearheaded there by Madison Inglis, who's I think just got an AA scholarship, and yeah, like I said, I think a very inexperienced team going down there, but again, with the formats, same thing, best of 3, first of 4, anything can happen. So maybe next year.
We will see with the young side. One of the teams to beat will be the Royal South Yarra Royals. Really
bit of a tongue tester there.
It is. I got that one out okay, but a great side, very even across the park. Tammy Patterson, Azra Hatic, Storm Sanders and Samantha Harris. Now I'm going to beg the difference with you, Trav. You think Stanmore Wyverns are the team to beat? I think the Royals are the team to beat next week in Melbourne.
Yeah, 100%. Again, I think that match is going to be fairly even, and when the seedings are released on Saturday as well, I would struggle not to see those 2 teams on the opposite end of the draws. But as you said, with Tammy Patterson, Azra Hatic, Storm Sanders, like Storm Sanders taking Camilla Georgie to 3 sets the other day in the first round of the Australian.
She beat Peng Shui at Hobart, 39 in the world. So still having great form.
Either one of those girls can potentially play at number 1, number 4. It's not really going to matter. Yeah, definitely probably a team with Stanmore.
Now we're rounded out by our international visitors. Now I'm going to be honest, I don't know too many of the Korean players, but we've got So Jung Kim, Ji Hee Choi, Minhwa Yu, and Sun Jung Kim.
Not bad. That's great pronunciation. But yeah, as you said, I'm not entirely sure of a lot of the players, but I was speaking to our tournament director, or competition director, David Hearn, the other day, and he seems to think a lot of those players stick clear, the Korean players kind of stick clear from the Pro Tour and play a lot of Korean club tennis. So definitely not a team to underestimate, and actually looking forward to seeing if they're any good down there, so it should be good.
I think they will be a good side, the Koreans, but it'll be interesting to see how they go in round one. And finally, our final team of the women's competition, from New Zealand. A good side on paper, probably a fairly young side. I'm not sure if they can push the competition yet this year. Rosie Chang's a good young player, but they're going to really need to step up to match with some of the leading teams next week.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Diane Hollands, she was in the final actually of the New Zealand National Championships the other day. Lost to an Australian girl, Sasha Jones. I don't actually know how that worked, but she's in some good form. Emma Hayman's a great doubles player as well. So, yeah, again, with the format, you never know, but you'd have to say New Zealand probably going to finish middle of the pack.
Moving to the men's side of the competition, and obviously we are most interested in our home team, the Tennis Brisbane Chargers. Guys, take out the competition this year. Second time in Melbourne. Last year they finished third, beat New Zealand in the third, fourth playoff, but was beaten in the semi-final by the champions, Liston Seagulls, which aren't in the competition this year. How do you think the Chargers are going to fare next week?
Well, just looking around the hall, depending on Johnny Millman's, whether he's going to be fit or not to play, so I'm unsure yet of his actual. I definitely know he's going to be down there, but if he can get out on the court fit with his shoulder, they're going to be very tough. Again, you know, like Michael Look's been hitting, Robert Smeets, Gavin Pepperzil, they've two of the former players in our Australian money tournaments actually played each other in the final of the Queensland money race. And Kate Hensel, of course, as well, former, you know, top 200 doubles player. We've got about 500 in singles, so definitely a well-rounded team and a good chance this year to take out the title.
I'll test anyone they come up against. Very even team across the board, and we can't wait to get behind you guys. The winners of the New South Wales Conference was a little bit of an upset in the final, especially without their two leading players, Nick Kyrgios and Alex Bolt, were the Canberra Velocity, and another great team on paper, Travis. A good mix of youth and experience.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, with Kyrgios and Bolt added to that team this year for the finals, they're going to be a team to watch. Obviously, experience Alan Jones and Todd Larkham. Actually, love watching Todd Larkham play. He's actually really solid player and very competitive, very quiet but very competitive player. So obviously him leading the way as a team coach as well. So I think they're going to be a very tough team with the two young guys at the top there.
Yeah, a good all-round side there again. The winners of the Victorian Conference, the Kooyong Classics, really even team, similar to the Chargers on paper across the board, probably led by the informed Andrew Whittington, really good doubles player, had a good single year as well.
Yeah, 100% Andrew Whittington, and Ruben Statham as well, who was a member of the winning Liston team last year, so he'll be looking for his second title there. But another, a few young guys there, Daniel Nolan, Mark Coleman, so Andrew Quaylo, actually, I haven't seen a lot of him recently, but from what I've heard, he used to be a very good player. And David Bidmead, I believe, who was on the ATL show last year, so he's down there at the ATL final, so best of luck down there, David, and I'll see you down there, no doubt.
The Trinity Titans won the South Australian Conference. Actually, a Queenslander in their team, Patrick Gann. I don't know what he's doing there, but hopefully the Chargers can take them down. A good side led by the very experienced Colin Everfight.
Yeah, definitely, with Colin up the top there again. Solid doubles player, very competitive guy. Lee Tu, David Toe, Darren Hopkins, who's had some great wins in the Pro Tour as well in the back half of the year. Going to be another solid team, but again, probably see them finishing maybe middle of the pack.
The West Australian winners were the Wembley Downs Wizards. Andrew Roberts led their side along with Adam Carey. Both work for Tennis Australia over at the National Academy in Perth. A good side on paper, trap, but I probably can't see them challenging the leading teams next week.
Yeah, again, as I said, a couple of solid players, especially Zach Epstein as well, a very solid player, but you never know with this wildcard rule, they could add anyone, and it can...
Robert Federer maybe.
Well, you never know. So he, but yeah, as I said, on paper, probably, again, a team that's probably going to finish down the bottom of the ladder, but you never know with the format again.
3 international raiders in the men's competition, all very good sides, and throw some interesting. It's going to be interesting when the draw comes out to see where some of these sides are seeded and placed in the draw. There's going to be some very tough first rounds. We'll start with what I think is a leading international contender, Japan Life NP Phoenix.
Any idea what NP stands for?
I don't know what NP stands for. I do like the team name Phoenix though. Led by very international flavour this team. So Bobby Reynolds, American, Dunai Udumchok from Thailand, and then 4 Japanese players in Toshihide Matsui, who must be approaching his mid to late 40s. He's been on the ATP Tour forever. Yuichi Ito, Bunpei Sato, and Yusuke Watanuki, who played a lot of futures in Australia this year.
Surprised Takao Suzuki's not in that lineup actually.
Probably played for one of the other teams in Japan, but they're going to be a formidable lineup, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go against the Australian sides.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if a lot of those guys, obviously Bobby Reynolds, Dunai Udumchok will, I guess, adapt to the format. A lot of them obviously Pro Tour level players, but have they played ATL format before? Not too sure how the formats work overseas, or if they just created that team from scratch. But yeah, like as Bobby Reynolds and Dunai Udumchok both believe top 100 players, so definitely.
Udumchok once beat Hewitt in a live Davis Cup singles run, but now that's not many people can claim that. So certainly a good team. It's going to be interesting to see where they have drawn for next week's competition. Our next international team, they finished 4th last year. The Chargers beat them in the 3rd, 4th playoff. New Zealand, they don't look quite as strong this year. Kyle Butters is a good gun player at number 4, led by Michael Venus, who's having a good week at the Australian Open in the doubles. Artem Sitak and Marcus Daniel.
Yeah, I guess they've lost Daniel King Turner. I'm not too sure, maybe injury or something, but addition of Kyle Butters, and again, you never know, they could add a international player with a wild card, so
good even side this year.
Good even side, yeah. So yeah, again, you never know, maybe middle pack.
Now my favourite team outside of the Chargers, guys, will be cheering you on, the Pacific Oceania Dolphins. They had the best uniforms at the finals last year, very colourful, and looking forward to see them on court again. A lot of French players from New Caledonia, so Daniel Larinas, Cyril Jacob, Nicholas Ngodala, Amaric Mara, and Brett Bodenova.
Surprised not to see Joanne Langton there actually. He was, I believe he was down there last year, and even Mikey Leon, but Nicholas Ngodala, I've seen him play. He actually come over and played a couple of AMTs here a couple of years ago leading into the Pacific Games, and he's a good player. So, and again, they'll have the experience from last year as well. I believe a couple of those players were in the team last year, so they're definitely going to be a tough team.
Now Travis, we're going to need you to put your opinion on the line. Pick some finalists for us in the women's competition first, and then the men's competition.
Women's competition, on paper, without wildcards, RSY Royals, Stanmore Wyverns. That's my final pick. As much as I'd love to see the Sharkies on, I believe the Sharkies are definitely going to finish in the top 4 this year though.
And in the men's competition?
That's a tough one. Again, Japan Life NP Phoenix for me, and probably leaning towards the Canberra Velocity or Tennis Brisbane Chargers.
Surely the Chargers.
Have to go the Chargers there, but the men's comp's looking really, really solid and evenly matched. But predictions is we're going to crown, obviously definitely a new men's champion, but I think we're going to crown our new women's champion this year as well.
2 new champions, that's the hope in 2014. It's going to be a fantastic final. Get along. All you need is a ground pass to head out to the outside courts on the western side, so courts 5 and 7 at Melbourne Park. Play starts on Monday from 11 AM and final on Tuesday the 21st of January. We can't wait to get behind our Queensland team, go the Sharks and the Chargers, and cannot wait to see everyone at the Asia Pacific Tennis League final in Melbourne.